Welcome back to today's section of the every Wednesday crypto market live analysis. Name is Nolan, and in today's session we'll be talking about what is generally going on in the crypto market. It's been crazy consolidation period for the general market since Bitcoin consolidate within the $31,000 mark right to the highest price achieved during the week at around $39,000 mark. What does this generally get a spell for the crypto market? All right, I can see people joining us. Keep sharing, continue to share the link. Share it across every groups. Continue to invite your friends, and then it's gonna be an interactive class. I'm gonna have to answer some questions towards the end. So you just keep sharing, you just keep liking, and just keep pushing it across all social media platforms. So far so good. Bitcoin is just being along this within this consolidation range and letting the general us market suffer the consequences of our deception. So which normally bring us to the big question: what's next? What's more likely going to happen to the general crypto market in the short term, or possibly in the long term? What are we expecting? What are the future price predictions? What do we expect Bitcoin to do any moment from now? Where actually is the general crypto market cap heading to? Are we at some point going to break the $30,000 mark? Are we as well at some point going above our 60,000, our previous all-time high? There are lots of questions, there are lots of panics right now in the market where people just people are worried. There is this panic in the market. People generally are confused. Some are already tired. Then but when I get to analyze if people are actually buying, what people are actually doing in the market, I get to find out that about over $260,000 amounts in Bitcoins have already been accumulated by long-term holders over time. Then what does it tell you? This actually tells you that over time, over the past 2 weeks, we've been having long-term investors getting to buy this particular assets, getting to accumulate Bitcoin. So we've been seeing this crazy demand in the general crypto market, getting from long-term holders buying Bitcoin to retail traders trading within the ranges we have here. So what does this literally get to tell you? It tells you that people interest right now, it has shifted to the crypto market, and we're looking at the general market cap maintaining the 1.1 trillion is kind of like very significant enough to tell you that as long as countries, as long as institutions, as long as people around the world keeps buying Bitcoin, keeps maintaining, keeps accepting cryptos, as long as institutions keeps accepting crypto, there's this huge possibility that Bitcoin won't go below the 1.1 trillion dollar mark. And this a very huge news coming around where we have news from El Salvador getting to accept, the first country in the world getting to accept Bitcoin as a legal tender, which still tells us about the whole demand, coming into the crypto space. That's huge. Starting from countries accepting Bitcoin as a legal tender, which of course news has it that with 3 Bitcoin right now you can acquire permanent residence in El Salvador. This is huge, guys. Countries are beginning to accept Bitcoin, are beginning to believe in the reality. They are beginning to believe in the reality. We've gone past that stage where countries, where institutions are kind of like still skeptical about the overall Bitcoin and blockchain ecosystem. We've actually gone above that doubt stage, where normally it came up around 2017, where Bitcoin first had the first macro bull run, which got companies like, okay, this Satoshi Nakamoto Ponzi scheme has been in this bullish bubble. So we've actually gone above that particular state in the crypto market. So getting to see countries accepting Bitcoin as a legal tender, getting to see institution buys. Yes, that reminds me. And in this week so far, Michael Saylor has already got over $1.6 billion offer to purchase Bitcoin. Still, this tells us about the huge demand coming to the crypto space. Michael Saylor already has over 110,000 Bitcoin in MicroStrategy's holding. So this is huge, guys, for the general crypto market. Getting to see institutions holding this, getting to see institutions buying Bitcoin, getting to see institutions add more Bitcoins to their general holding, getting to see countries adopting Bitcoin as a legal tender, and getting to see a whole lot of development across the ecosystem, across the DeFi's, across the Polkadot, across the NFTs, getting to see lots of development across the blockchain ecosystem, which still brings me to the point that, remember when I said, as long as there is much money, as long as more money keeps coming into the general crypto market, the bigger the general crypto, the bigger the general crypto market cap gets to surge. Like, as long as more money comes in, as more projects are being built on the blockchain ecosystem, the more the crypto market cap. So we still also bring us to where I normally get asked, if we are some point checking on how the whole thing going on in the blockchain ecosystem, if we are some point going below the $1.1 trillion mark. So that's El Salvador getting to accept Bitcoin as a legal tender. That's Michael Saylor having over $1.6 billion offered to him in the past 24 hours. This is huge, guys. So far, so good. Bitcoin has just been in these boring ranges, within this demand zone, and we are getting to see people buying. We are getting to see long-term investors buying. We are getting to see countries, El Salvador, getting to accept as a legal tender. So that's it for what's happening in the crypto market. Then, prior to the last video, which I did, of course, I talked about the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index. We'll look at the fear. We'll go to the Fear and Greed Index shortly, where I talked about the fear. And when you look at the Fear and Greed, Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, it gets to tell you that when you look at this part, and this is on the 3-month Fear and Greed Index, it tells you that so far so good. This is obviously an accumulation range, and here is what accumulation does to you. You don't expect price to just head in one direction. So far, so good. After Bitcoin peaked at $65,000, it's been over a 55% correction in price. So you don't just expect price to move in one direction. At some point, price of any asset, at some point, always have this consolidation range where it gets to rest for a while, accumulates, and let people get into the market before any sort of a continuation, or maybe perhaps any sort of a continuation to the downside or to the downside. So far, Bitcoin is still at this accumulation range. Nothing's changed yet. Looking at the Fear and Greed Index, it's kind of like still showing us that your emotion, because this is the sentimental part of analysis where you normally get to know what traders like you are talking about the market. So when you get to see this, it tells you, okay, so far so good. We've been seeing this consolidation range in the Fear and Greed Index, which tells us that as long as we are in this range, the Fear and Greed Index can as well be at 20, can as well be at 10. It can go long, ranging from the point of 10 to 20 to 30 while we accumulate. So far, so good. We're looking at Bitcoin, it's obvious that we are in an accumulation range. An accumulation range always have this way of getting you tired. It gets your emotions toyed. It gets you frustrated, and then it just literally gets you tired. You literally be tired of the whole market. But then while we let Bitcoin still accumulate for a while, so what are the possible, what so far so good in the past 1 week, what have we been able to achieve, and what prices have we been able to achieve in the general crypto market? We are going to look into let's go to the nomics price predictions and see so far so good how much in dollars have been introduced into the crypto market. What is the volume that we've been able to cover within the past 24 hours, and how many percentage in rally have Bitcoin and perhaps other altcoins been able to cover within the past 24 hours. So far so good. This is Bitcoin still on a market cap of about $686 billion. And then when you look at the volume so far in the past 24 hours, this is about $54 billion so far traded in Bitcoin in the past 24 hours. And so far so good. Bitcoin done 13% in the past 24 hours, and currently the price of 36,600. This is huge, guys. Volume is coming into the crypto market. From the point where we went to 31,000 late hours of yesterday to right now, we've seen this huge bounce in price, which still tells us that people are actually getting to buy the dips and people are actually getting interested in the market. So that's it for Bitcoin. Let's look at Ethereum briefly. What Ethereum has been able to do within the past 24 hours. So far on Ethereum, the market cap still sitting around $3.3 billion, and the total volume traded on Ethereum is in the past 24 hours, we have it at around $48 billion. And then so far in the past 24 hours, the volatility range, Ethereum has been able to cover a 7% price upward price movement in the past 24 hours. That's it for Ethereum. Still generally healthy, still generally in this consolidation mode. But because remember, as long as Bitcoin is in this consolidation mode, is within this range, generally us markets would as well get to accumulate with Bitcoin over time. No one goes before Bitcoin. They just accumulate over time as long as Bitcoin is still within this range. So that's it for Ethereum. We're going to look briefly into Ripple and see what Ripple has been able to do in the past 24 hours. So far so good, trading at $0.8. Ripple's been able to go up to cover a 16.4% movement in the past 24 hours and traded at about a $5.7 billion in the past 24 hours with 41.1 billion total market cap in XRP. This is huge, guys. More money still coming in. XRP is still good, and we're going to look into BNB. What has BNB done so far in the past 24 hours? So far, so good. BNB still trading around the $375 mark. They're still literally moving alongside Bitcoin. Nothing moves past Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin literally determines the fate of every market. So we have Binance Coin trading at $375 and have done over 10% in the last 24 hours. And so far, so good. The BNB, the Binance Coin total market cap, is still sitting around the 57 billion cap. While so far we've been able to trade 3.8 billion in the past 24 hours. So this is it, guys. Bitcoin is still ranging. Altcoins are recovering faster. Bitcoin is as well recovering faster after we put in a major low yesterday at around $31,000. This is it, guys. We are having interest in the market. People are buying. It's just getting in. Price as well trying to make new highs of the achieved lows in the past 24 hours. So far so good. That's it for the altcoins market generally responding to Bitcoin price actions in the past 24 hours. So briefly, we're going to let's get into real price actions. Let's see what Bitcoin is telling us, what the general Bitcoin chart is telling us, and what we are more likely going to do in the past and what we are more likely going to do in the time to come. So far so good. Bitcoin trading at above $36,000 after getting this bounce of our achieved lows in the past 24 hours at around $1,000 mark. This is huge, guys. So remember, prior to our last video, if you can remember, if you were with us here, the last stream, I talked about the $30,000 mark being a very critical level for the general crypto market, which as well matches with a $1.1 trillion market cap. So far so good. We came right back again and tested the $31,000 mark approximately, and then Bitcoin bounced off it. So what is this telling us, guys? This is still telling us that people, interest, demand is on a high. All right, at any price dip, they just get to buy it up. Still kind of like maintaining, we still help us maintain that support line. So this is it, guys. As long as Bitcoin keeps accumulating within the demand range, remember the demand range is this level in price where actually buyers always coming to buy any particular asset. So as long as price is within that demand price, which most times technically it matches with a critical support, as long as prices get to maintain this particular level, chances are chances are we head strongly up to the upside to the next big supply zones, where normally supply zone in the market is where traders are actually looking at price to get up to before they get to decide their fate in the market, if they will be exiting their positions or perhaps wait for a while and check if the price is going to put a further movement. So we have our demand, we have our supply level, sitting around the 48,500 up and onto the $50,000 box. That's the price, guys. The price where literally every trader, every institution in the market is currently looking at. So for Bitcoin to come to that particular price and fill their sell order. So while we maintain this, so it's still much obvious that we're heading to that supply range, to that supply price. So which of course technically is sitting around the 2.618 Fibonacci extension level. I'm sorry, guys. So that's it for Bitcoin, maintaining critical support line with a huge supply, and of course resistance line coming in macro, coming in at around $48,000 mark. So remember, like I told you, that Bitcoin is on a multi-$1,000 move, which if we get to break one, we head for the another. We head for the other. So $30, the $30,000 mark, a huge support, a huge macro support, which if we lose it on a weekly time frame, I won't, no doubt price might as well get to come down to the next big macro level, which we have at around the 0.5 Fibonacci extension level at around $11,000. We still bring us to that level. Remember, Bitcoin, the total market cap, they all move. They move together. So if you are talking about Bitcoin breaking $30,000, you are as well talking the crypto market cap. You are as well talking about the crypto market cap going below the $1.1 trillion market cap. So while we check on the general news coming in on the general adoption so far, so just still puts us to the questions if we at some point going to lose the $30,000 mark. So that's it for Bitcoin, maintaining a huge support, a huge macro support level with the tendency of touching going back to the huge macro resistance level sitting around the 48 to 50,000 level, 50,500 level, which is technically our 2.618 Fibonacci extension level. So briefly, what's our other signs we are getting to see in the crypto market that could be possibly pointing $30,000 mark to be the bottom of this whole crypto market consolidation. So briefly, we're going to look at the Bitcoin dominance to see so far so good what's been achieved here over time. So when you look at we are going to look at the Bitcoin dominance chart briefly. Let's go into the Bitcoin dominance chart and see what Mr. Bitcoin is telling us and what Bitcoin is telling us, and the path is more likely going to follow. So far so good. We are seeing the Bitcoin dominance coming around the 42 points, which of course, if you were here the last week, so as I said, as long as Bitcoin maintains this critical support line coming around the 40 points, and the lowest we had there is about 38 points, we are more likely going to see a reversal of this level. Remember, this point is actually we have it at 42 point is actually the first low we put in when we had the first during the last Bitcoin bear market around 2018, which we have it right there, the 42 points, the 42 points, which still bring us down to the fact that as long as Bitcoin maintains this level, there is more chances we just range here for a while, accumulate for a while before price heads in an upward direction. So, which of course the opposite is going to happen if Bitcoin gets to lose this particular support line. But if you check, so far so good, if you check fractals, fractals previous price actions, you'll get to understand that this level, this support level currently we maintain in the the Bitcoin dominance has actually been significant enough. It's actually been very, 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 very important, coming way back all the way from 2017 and 2018. So that's it for Bitcoin dominance, maintaining a very, very important point in dominance, which of course, when you look at this, it's kind of like very obvious that we're about to confirm bullish divergence on the weekly. And also, one good thing about the dominance is the last time when we came to this the 39 points on the dominance, we had this buy volume stepped in, which literally means that we have capitulated in the dominance. And so far, we've capitulated in dominance, and price is more likely going to see an upward movement from here until otherwise. Remember, technicals come first, then price moves alongside technicals. Until the technical gets validated to any side of the market, price doesn't get to move. Price waits for technical to get validated, and then you see price heading towards that direction where the technicals are pointing to. So far, that's it for the Bitcoin dominance chart, showing the bottoming pattern and more bullish case right there. So we're going to look into the Bitcoin market cap and see what's the total market cap, what's the big picture it's trying to let us understand. So far we have the we're looking at the total market cap. Still, the total market cap, so far so good. In the past 24 hours in Bitcoin, when Bitcoin crashed from about $35,000 mark right down to $31,000 mark, the total crypto market cap moved all the way from 1.5 trillion down to 1.338 trillion, and still had this very, very massive bounce straight up to 1.6. So that's huge, guys. That still tells us that the market just get bought up at any slightest dip. So much interest in the market right now as people are getting to take on that slightest dip, that the market gets to does at any point. So far so good. The total market cap still sitting above the $1.1 trillion mark, which also matches with the 1.168 Fibonacci extension level, which as well normally it does similar pattern Bitcoin is following. So price sitting the $1.1 trillion market cap, all right, with the next target of $1.8 trillion market cap, which is sitting around. Technically, we have a huge resistance line coming to that point, which is the 2.8 Fibonacci extension level. Remember, I told you that the Bitcoin, the general crypto market, is on a multi-thousand macro trend, which if one gets validated, you just see this huge surge in price or huge decline in price. Which, remember, key takeaway here today is, as long as we maintain 30K, the next macro level, demand level, supply level, is around 48,500 up and until $50,000. And if we should in any case get to break $30,000 mark, the next big macro level is sitting around not the all-time high, not our previous all-time high, because I can remember so far so good. People are talking about yes, Bitcoin broke the 20K level, the high it put around 2017. It should come back there. It should come back there. It's meant to come back there. That's you judging from your emotions. That's you not following technicals. If you should check fractal-wise, Bitcoin never in history retested a previous all-time high. This reminds me way back in 2018 during the last bear market. The first time, I was like, okay, I saw Bitcoin crash all the way from $20,000 down to $3,000. I was like, oh, okay. Then we had this previous all-time high sitting around $1,200. I was like, oh, okay. That was still the sentiment that time, that Bitcoin is coming to our previous all-time high. All right, that was the one I kept putting my buy orders. I kept putting my buy orders at 1.2. That was actually an illusion. Bitcoin never came to that price. It was crazy. It was crazy that actually I ended up longing Bitcoin at around 3-4. I remember that very day I long Bitcoin at 3,900 and still closed my position at 3.6. Memories, and you just get to remember these things. You just like, wow, I have missed the biggest transfer of wealth in the history of mankind. Sounds plausible actually. So far so good. The technicals, the sentiments are okay. We broke above the previous all-time high. We have not retested it. We are meant to retest it. That is you forcing yourself into the market. That is you. That is sentiments that is you trying to use. That's you being sentiments or being biased. So when you check fractals, it's quite understandable that Bitcoin never in history repeats or come back to his previous all-time high. Well, fractals can get invalidated. Let's wait on the point of invalidation, like I said, is the $30,000 mark. Until that gets invalidated, it's very understandable that we're going to run for a while, then continue the uptrend. So that's it for that. Bitcoin still maintaining 30K with a huge chances of going to $48,000. Then we still bring us to the question, which of course normally I do get these questions. Are we Nolan? People just get to come to me, Nolan. What's your view on the market? This is a huge crash all the way from $65,000. Are we at some point going to see new all-time high? Well, you just don't. You just move along the market. Don't just do predictions, right? That's one thing. People just be like, okay, the crypto market is more of a speculative market. We all understand that. What we're doing today, we are kind of like what we're doing today is being predestined, which still take us back to making use of fractals. It's obvious. So that being that, we're still ranging. The market is still on this consolidation phase, of course, with a more of a bullish sentiments in the past 24 hours, checking on the whole developments coming in, checking on our El Salvador, first country getting to accept Bitcoin as a legal tender, which of course, with my 3 Bitcoin right now, I can actually gain a permanent residence at that particular country, the Central of America, El Salvador. This sounds very interesting. Think about it, guys. 3 Bitcoins, like roughly 100K. When you think about it, like I can gain a permanent residence. Wow, this is huge, guys. So far so good. That's it for the Bitcoin trillion. The Bitcoin the total crypto or market cap. We generally held it here. So putting in a consolidation range, which of course our next target of 1.8 trillion, which of course, that brings me to answering that particular question, which I have actually not answered. So here's the thing with all-time highs. Here's the thing with going, if we at some point going to create new all-time high in the overall crypto market. So as long as Bitcoin remains below 48,000, there are chances we just accumulate here for a while. So new all-time high, I would say yes, is something that's inevitable as long as you see Bitcoin on a weekly get to close above the $49,000 mark approximately. Yes, once we achieve that, which remember, once we achieve closing on a weekly above the 49,000 level, the Bitcoin, the general crypto market cap as well is going to close above 1.8 trillion. Like they all move together. So at that particular point, everyone can start talking about new all-time highs. Everyone can start talking about Bitcoin to 100K. You can start getting the bubble back again, because right now it looks like the bubble is busted. It looks like everybody literally getting tired. People are just, man, I'm tired of this particular coin. It doesn't just go to one direction. It just comes down, it goes up, it comes down, it goes up. That's one thing that accumulation does to you until you really get tired and pissed off of this particular market. So that's it for Bitcoin. That's it for the general crypto market cap. So when okay, what are the bearish scenarios? What are more bearish scenarios? We can see that so far so good. That will be projected on the screen. So far so good. I'll share the slide. Of course, I'm going to share the technicals on our premium group. If you really want to get to join our premium group here, you get updated in what is going on generally the crypto market. You make sure you visit www.daba.school and sign up for the Trade and Make Money course, which of course things that I'm not going to be sharing here today, I'll put it up there so you get to understand. So while I was that's by the way, you make sure you check that out, Daba.school. That's the website. So what are the more bearish scenarios? So that will be displayed on the chart. Like I told you, we have the 200 moving average and the 50 moving average coming close to contact, coming close to a dead cross point. And what are dead cross in the market? Dead cross in the market are actually something, is actually a thing that when it happens, price see this huge see this crash, the downside, all right? And that point is actually sitting at the 45,000 level, where we're having this moving averages about to converge. So so that is actually a very more bearish scenario, but still price most times doesn't get to follow this. Moving averages at some point also gets invalidated. So you just follow your fib extension level, mark your levels, which of course once one gets validated to the upside, we generally move to the other. And to the downside, if one gets broken to the downside, we as well get to move to the other. So that's it for that. And also one new thing about this is when you look about one also bullish thing, also when you get to look in the if you get to think about it, we've had a couple of bullish divergences on the lower time frames and even the macro time frame. We have the 2-day, we have the 3-day, we have the 4-day, and we have the daily, and we have the 12-hour. These time frames have put a couple of bullish divergences, and lots of them has been confirmed over time. This is still showing you that there is strength coming in. There's this buy strength coming into this market, and there's more chances that we test $50,000, the $50,000 box, then accumulate for a while before perhaps any sort of a continuation of the downside or any other or all-time high if we get to break above it. So far so good. We've talked about the dominance, we've talked about the Bitcoin price actions, then we talk about the total market cap, then we've talked about how many volumes being traded. We've looked at our nomics predictions and talked about how much volumes has been traded and how many percentages being covered across every crypto market. So I'm going to take a look at your questions and briefly. Let me see your questions. I'm going to look at your questions. I'm going to pick some questions and then answer. I'm going to pick your questions and answer. Remember, I'm going to see what are you. Okay, I'm going to look at your questions and pick a couple of more questions. Remember, what are your thoughts? Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know your thoughts currently in the market. Let me know if you've been sharing at all. Let me know how many of your friends are watching alongside us. So far so good. I have about okay. Woo, so far so good. Okay, let me see. So far so good. 16 likes so far so good. Remember, guys, you just keep sharing. You just keep. Oh! Look at them. Yeah. Wow. Nice having you here. So let me see what this guy is talking about. Let me see. Okay. Wow. I have this one. Talk about this. Let me see. Awesome. Okay. Good evening, house. Yeah. Good evening. Good evening. Who is this? Chikadu. All right. We're waiting. Wow, this one said Nolan is a genius. Well, I'm not gonna say I'm a genius, but I think I'm trying my best. I'm not acting like one. I'm just cool with it. So this one said, hello, Dabais. Let me see. El Salvador win what? Oh, Mona El Salvador. That guy is very crazy. And then we're talking. What else do we have here? D didn't say point in Africa, Nolan the Ned. I'm actually not seeing I'm not getting to see any question here. People are kind of like catching cruise instead of asking me reasonable questions. I'm not saying that you should be very serious with your life. I mean, so people are actually, let me see what else do I have here. Okay. There is hope. Of course, there is hope coming from, remember I said there's always the supply level and there's always a demand level. When prices keep maintaining a particular demand level, it consolidates there. It shows you that, okay, prices are maintaining this level and we are more likely going to see price head up to the demand level. $40,000 mark is not actually, on the macro, it's not the demand level. The demand, it's not actually the supply level. The supply level where people are looking at to sell the market is around 48K. All right, 48K up and until the $50,000 mark. All right, you that is about, what's his name again? You that is about to exit the market at the $40,000 mark. You're gonna still wait for a little while, see if the market can get up to $48,000 mark, which is kind of like the macro level. So what else? Okay, this one says, wow, wonderful analysis. All right, I'm glad to learn that you're loving it. And what other, which other question? Okay, you said, thank you so much for this enlightening analysis. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. I'm loving that as well. So you know what you do? You make sure you hit the bell icon, right? Take that particular notification button so you don't always get to miss a bit when something like this gets uploaded on our channel. Make sure you share to your friends, guys, because we'll be doing this every week. And don't forget that we already have a premium platform. We have a platform where you can as well get connected to our premium community where we share updates constantly, where we get to give you, expose you to more opportunities going around the blockchain ecosystem. There are lots of opportunities here. You don't literally need to be a trader. You don't literally need to buy and sell Bitcoin. You don't literally need to be an exchanger. There are lots of opportunities going on in the general crypto market ecosystem, which joining our community, of course, we will get to, expose you to lots of opportunities that we've got there. Let me see. Okay, this one said, okay, I've already talked about this. This one said, look up, bro, not down. This one said, thank you so much. Okay, I've seen this. Wow. This is brilliant analysis. And said, okay, this one is coming from Nigeria. Who is this person? Okay, this one said, why didn't data respect Bitcoin movement yesterday? Good. That's a very nice question. This one said, why didn't data respect Bitcoin movement yesterday and today? Good. That question is coming from who? It's coming from Michael Eyitayo. Yes, this was it with data. That yesterday, remember, price is within this level that I call the supply, the demand zone, where people generally, psychologically, just have already marked 30K to be the bottom. That's why when I did analysis, when I talked about the volumes being traded in the past 4 hours, you will see that more money came into the markets within the past 4 hours, and then the market dominance, the Bitcoin total market, the general market cap, dumping to 1.3 trillion, and seeing that same bounce, it literally means that not only that money came into only Bitcoin, money as well came into other markets. So psychologically, the market is already ready for this move, and data also took advantage of that particular price, that particular price projections that normally the market was already showing us. It's more like the GTO. It's more like GTO that has been rallying. So you expect more of this rally, because as long as Bitcoin is maintaining this huge level, as long as the total market cap is maintaining the $1.1 trillion market cap, psychologically, just now, we bottomed out, technically we bottomed out, and there's more interest now in the market, which of course any coin can actually do something that data does. So data wouldn't have put such movements if Bitcoin actually broke 30K. That's when you now see, more of a crazy movement to the downside. So psychologically, we've been prepared. Technically, we've been prepared. So money, when the market gets prepared psychologically, when the market gets prepared technically, when fundamentally there are these lots of bullish sentiments, you see money coming in. Now think about it. Why didn't why didn't Mike Seller, why didn't El Salvador, why didn't all these kind of stuffs coming around when we are at that $65,000 level? So you see, price was technically ready, everything was technically ready, then you started seeing money flowing across every crypto market, which of course this particular movement can be done right now across any market. You can see already GTO has been doing it, so data picked up yesterday. Of course, there was a huge spike in volume on data. There was a huge spike in volume on data in the past 24 hours. So that's it for data. Bitcoin technically ready for an upside movement, and psychologically the market is ready for an upside movement. Generally, us market will get to overreact, because you see them dump, or you see them you see a more even consolidation if Bitcoin is not yet showing any signal to the upside. So what else we have here? What is your yearly prediction for BTC? Yearly prediction for BTC. Well, remember, like I said, price normally gets to follow technicals. All right. Now we have remember, like I said, our support line, our macro resistance line, is at $48,000 marks up and onto $50,000 mark. So if price doesn't get to close above this constantly on the weekly, there are good chances we can play around here for about 6 months. You can play around here for a while. Allow the market accumulate. So new all-time highs and possible price prediction for BTC up to the up or to the downside. It all comes along technicals. Technicals shows you future price, like it tells you what the price is going to do before time. So right now, price is telling us that we are on an accumulation range. We've not yet had any break to either of the side, which of course we've tested our support, our macro support, and technically we should head to a macro resistance. So until these two get to be invalidated, let me say to the upside, then you start talking about BTC going to new all-time highs, all right? And then that will probably gonna be your, like, when you look at that, okay, you'll be like, this is already June. So when that won't happen, when that more upside validation gets happen, you can as well get to predict that, okay, maintaining this, we can, before year end, Bitcoin can get to close above, can get to close at the $80,000 mark, $60,000 mark, or probably range within our all-time high to 70,000. So that's it, and until it gets invalidated, if technicals get to invalidate the general crypto move, you can still get to see that price might as well close a yearly at below 20,000 or probably 15,000. So let's wait for technicals to show us the way. You follow technicals, you don't do predictions here. So what else do we have here? This so far so good. Well, okay, people still asking the same thing. So okay, so far so good. We've actually kind of like coming to the end of this particular live stream. Thanks for watching. It's been nice having you guys here. So remember, if you want to stay connected to our premium community where you normally get information, so you normally get exposed to what's going on generally in the crypto market, opportunities that are available in the whole blockchain ecosystem, you make sure you visit www.davido.school. I got it here, so I got it on my hoodie. I have it right here on my hoodie written out well. So you visit and pick the trader make money course, so you get added to our community. Thanks for watching. Don't make sure you share, keep sharing this video. Make sure you hit the bell icon, the notification icon, so you don't always get a miss a beat when something like this get uploaded on our channel. Hit the like button as well. Let's see if you can take this to 1,000 like, guys. Let's see if you can take this to 1,000 likes, guys, and let's see if you can get this channel up and until 10,000. For now, 10,000. I'm not being too greedy. So keep sharing, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next week.